Welcome to Live with Linda. How are you
Hey,
doing, Linda?
I'm alive.
You're live. That's always a good thing. That's always a good thing.
Oh dear. It's been a
Uh,
long week, this
it
one.
has been a long week. Now, you were mentioning just before we started that you found some people that were kind of struggling a little bit this week. I mentioned that I couldn't tell if I was because I was on fire. So what kind of stuff did you notice?
Yeah, a lot of people like disturbed sleep and feeling kind of edgy and irritable. And here we are, launching into spring, winter's technically behind us. So, there's a lot of glum folks out there. So maybe their spring hasn't sprung.
And the topic today is about spring cleaning kind of a
Yeah,
thing, right? It's so
house
what's
cleaning.
house cleaning? Yeah. So what the I'm just going to look at the topic here. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be talking about cleansing. Are you talking about with cleansing? Are you talking about detox again? Because we kind of did that, but is this totally different? It is. Okay, I see the nod. Do you want to explain the difference between the detox and the cleaning?
Yeah, the cleaning, wax on, wax
Wax
off.
off?
Yeah, I'm out there digging around in my soil in the garden and noticing the similarity of how we need to, if we want to reap what we sow, then we need to, clean out all the debris that isn't maybe being turned into compost into the garden, take out the weeds, start adding some moisture and fertilizing the perennials, for instance. So replenishing.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that in our environment, but it's on par with ourselves.
Yeah.
We need to detox and move into a new season. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And it seems like spring is a good time. Like, I guess you could detox any time of the year, but is spring a better time to do this cleanse or detox type of a thing?
Seasonal changes, it's always appropriate to do a little bit of a shift, noticing how we dress differently, we start eating differently, we go into a little bit more lighter foods in the spring and summer. So it does seem to coincide with some of these major seasonal changes like spring and fall.
Right.
And the seasonal affective disorder or sadness that people may be experiencing, or this discombobulation right now, um, can tie into how our bodies are ready for a little bit of a shift. So
Yeah.
you can help yourself physically and mentally by just doing a few changes. Yeah. And if you want to call it a spring detox or spring cleanse, um, do it. And it can be a variety of different lengths of time. Um,
Would you think that if you were not distracted by things that are going on, in your life, and you kind of just had that quiet, you would be able to listen to your body and realize, oh, I need to do something in one of the beginning of one of the seasons, like spring coming up. Would you actually notice it in the body? I mean, this is something that you practice, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, we do notice, and we've all sometimes tend to be a little more relaxed in our living lifestyle over the winter hibernation. Um, Interesting. Now that I think about it, bears lose weight in hibernating, but we seem to gain weight.
Yeah, something wrong there, isn't there?
Oh yeah. So in spring when we start moving around more and we've got a couple of extra, a few maybe pounds to lose, and we're wearing lighter, more revealing clothing, yeah, we get a signal from our bodies that hey,
Sh-
we need to do something about this.
Shake it up, shake it up. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's okay. Cool, cool. So let me ask you. So um, spring comes along. We want to kind of clean house. What type of cleanses, I guess, is probably the best way. Types of cleanses that a person would use,
Yeah,
would use.
yeah, fun because there'd be a variety. Like the mental detox is just checking in,
Yeah.
like what's going on, how do I feel, do I need to plan a few holidays, yeah, even if it's a day or an afternoon, and how can I get out into nature, and that generally starts to make us feel better when we get outside and start to get a
Mm.
bit of fresh air, and notice how the earth is shifting and growing and blooming. So that's the mental detox.
Well, and you're right, because I went and mowed the lawn. I booked off
Mm.
half an hour early from work. I went out and mowed the lawn, and it just felt good to be outside doing something in the yard. It just, I can't put words to it, but I just felt better being out there mowing and getting the sprinkler set up, and testing things out. I thought, oh, I just felt, and then looked at the lawn, and it's nice and, even, and so yeah, I can see how that would make a difference. Like going into your garden and pulling out some weeds and kind of rototilling or whatever you need to do, right?
Sense of satisfaction of cleaning up and seeing the difference and improvement. And we haven't quite hit allergy season, so you're still enjoying being outside and breathing in all the dust and the pollen and the mold and all that sort of stuff, because
Yeah.
really, the humidity hasn't kicked in. We've had a very dry period right now, so allergies don't seem to be flaring for people. But the thing that you were also doing is like an exercise detox, like you're moving your body, you're lifting things more functionally, as in a something you're doing, not in the gym. I mean, functionally, you're moving the
Yeah.
lawnmower around. So the circulation in exercise is actually a detox.
Hmm. Never thought
So
of it that way.
when you increase your circulation, the amount of times that you're putting the blood through the liver, the kidney, the gut, the heart, you're actually detoxing more frequently than just at 70 beats per minute. Your pulse just resting, whereas when you pick up the exercise, it's pushing the blood that much more and filtering through all those other organ systems. So it is a detox in itself. How about that?
Yeah, I like that. So for those of you who hate mowing the lawn, it's good for you. It's good for you. Go
There
and
you
do it.
go.
Go and mow your lawn. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's
people
really
don't
interesting.
realize. Yeah. So, Impact Magazine and a few of these others that promote activity and exercises, lifestyles, um, don't seem to emphasize as much as I would like to have them emphasize it. It's actually a healthy detoxification process, not about looking buff and
Yeah.
wonderful and trim and slim and muscular. It's also about the internal health that's going on there. And if they get injured and they are no longer able for a period of time, let's just say, 3 months, they're
Hmm.
out, not able to do their triathlon or whatever training they're doing. Many of those people get sick because they are not detoxifying with their exercise anymore.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that is
Yes.
really interesting.
So, it is a form of detox exercise for sure. And they don't even know they're doing it.
Wow. So we have mental detox. We've got like physical
Exercise.
detox, exercise, and exercise doesn't necessarily mean going out and lifting weights or doing cardio. Going out in the yard, going out and mowing the lawn or rototilling the garden or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
what other cleanses would fall into this whole category?
So, a lot of people that are intimidated by coming in and doing something more aggressive, um, we can call it aggressive or uh, detailed. For instance, a homeopathic cleanse or a herbal cleanse, or how about an elimination cleanse? Like, I'm just not going to eat any sugar or
Hmm.
any flour products for 3 days, 10 days. We kind of did that a little bit with the cabbage soup diet, where we're
Yeah.
highly focused on giving our bodies a breather or a break from all the razzmatazz of Christmas.
Yeah.
But we can really refocus again, is basically what we're doing, and cutting back on maybe calories, or like a total fast. You could do the mastered cleanse. Not that I always recommend that for people, but if it's something they've heard about, read about, want to try, it's not going to hurt you. Um, Depending on it, again, if you've got some other conditions going on that are a little bit like you have diabetes, all of a sudden you can't just go and not eat,
Yeah.
for instance. So
Yeah.
you have to use some, sense around how um, detailed of a detox you want to do. But I always recommend doing a herbal detox with some additional fiber. There's some really good smoothie recipes you can find with ground flaxseed and other vegetables that are high in fiber to increase the fiber and help get that small intestine and bowel more liberally swept out.
Yeah. Well, and talking about like smoothies, which can be a way of kind of doing some detox, like you said, adding stuff in there. What
Mhm.
besides flax seeds, what other high fiber stuff that could you add to that to help kind of do this elimination?
Yeah, so you could throw in some chia seeds
Okay.
and anything that some people enjoy celery if it can be broken up enough. I recommend organic celery. So looking at apples, berries, but really throwing in a lot of spinach and cilantro and
Mm,
making quite blueberries. All these combinations make for a higher fiber smoothie, and preferably not all fruit.
right. Right. So what would be so not to ask for a recipe or anything,
Okay.
but so like a tablespoon of flaxseed, throw in half a cup of blueberries, throw in a bunch of spinach, zip it up, call it a
Water.
day. Water, obviously, yeah, water, and
Yeah.
zip it up, call it a day.
Yeah, you could do any of those, all of the above. I don't like seeing a lot of citrus or bananas or pineapple and mangoes and pineapple, all those kind of sweet things. But
Yeah.
if you can throw in some avocado, some
Mm,
almond butter, those kinds of things don't make for a lovely color, fair warning, but it does taste good. And you can also throw in some some ginger if
oh,
you're, cinnamon if you want a little bit of a different taste.
yeah,
Um, you got to experiment around on your own. That's
yeah,
why I can provide a basic green smoothie. I think there is one on my website um, that maybe isn't what I would call a high fiber, but it's certainly an
right,
opportunity to get some of your veg in.
yeah.
And just remember, you always kind of chew your smoothie. You just don't glunk it down.
Right. Yes, you told me about that, and that's a really good point that I didn't realize until you mentioned that. That if you don't, do you want to explain it? Because I'm not going to give it justice trying to explain why you chew your smoothie versus just glug it down.
Yeah, well, because we do have teeth for a reason. And we didn't have smoothie building machines back when we were put together. And the whole idea is that our digestive process starts in the mouth. So, with the mastication and the saliva being produced with chewing your food, it sets up the stomach acid reaction and the blood vessels dilating, waiting for the food to come down to the stomach. So, one of my old mentors used to say to his patients when they asked if they could juice, and he says, "Sure, you can juice, just don't drink it." And it was always a shock to me because he said because the chewing process of eating food starts in the mouth and
Yeah.
it has to be there for a few seconds, it sets the brain stomach connection up for, hey, we're going to start the digestive process. And he explained it like, if you don't button the coat up properly from the top down, you've got a problem
Yeah.
at the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's how he likened, and he was not a fan of smoothies, and neither was I for many, many years until I kind of caved because it seemed like the only way people were going to start to incorporate some of these other foods. So it's still not an ideal food to me. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not 98 years old with no teeth.
Would it be appropriate then? And I know we've gone a little off topic of cleanse, but would it be appropriate to have like a handful of nuts, chew them, and drink your smoothie so you are getting that?
Sure.
I'm trying to cheat here a little bit.
I noticed. Sure, why not? Yeah, you could do a combination. That's why they say, like I've often prescribed a try juice, um, uh, sort of not an alkalinizer is what I did, and I even had, what's that smoothie place called? Booster Juice or somebody like
Mm,
that was actually making it for me for a while. It's a veggie based juice, and I asked people to drink their juice, that juice in particular, with the fiber and the pulp still in it, with their meals,
right. With the meal.
at,
Okay, that makes sense.
so that they, weren't drinking this massively chewed up fruit and veg. Well, it wasn't fruit; it was just veg, cucumbers, carrots, and beets.
Mm,
Uh, and then I did cucumbers, um, cucumbers and beets, and with a bit of cilantro in there too, to just give it a little bit of spice and bite.
yeah.
But that was the basis of it. And then sometimes, very rarely, did I give a citrus cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
Of fruit juices too. But um, yeah, so cucumber, what did I say? Beets and carrot
Yeah.
juice. Yeah. So that's
So
basically one third of a cup of each.
one
There's a
third of a cup.
recipe for you.
There you go. So any other cleansing things that like natural cleansing things that we go through besides the exercise that you've talked about having some homeopathic cleanse or some herbal cleanse. Is there any other stuff that we should be aware of when it comes to cleansing, especially right now when as we're into spring?
Yeah. We're moving more into allowing some raw food. Like if we're trying to create or cure a health issue, I typically in the winter will stick to no raw, cold, or sweet food.
Right.
So now we can move into incorporating more raw foods into our diet again, and always having a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. We can
Yeah.
add that to our raw veggies, and watching the types of oils that we're using, staying away from the seed oils, and
Mm-hmm.
we just want more of your olive, avocado, walnut, these types of oils, preferably if you
Right.
need them. Yeah,
Okay.
coconut oil seems to be easily digested by most people too.
Oh, okay.
But as far as there's a lot of kits on the store shelves that'll be promoted right now for spring cleaning,
Right.
and if people are shy of trying one of those kits, because it's kind of like they're trying to make it a one size fits all. If you're afraid, then just do everything half dose.
Mm.
If you Because a lot of them put a laxative or cascara based component to it, so they're assuming a lot of people have got debris built up, just
Right.
like, and that can be a little harsh for some people if they already have quite a bit of inflammation or irritable bowel syndrome there.
Right. So
Hmm.
it's probably a wise idea to consult with you first. Because you can overdo it or underdo it, and it's probably better to have something. The one size fits all for health never did sit right with me because, everybody's different. Everybody's gut biome is different. Everybody's just different, and so you kind of need someone like yourself to be able to coach you around that and get you specifically for you. I at least that's how I feel about it.
I tend to, when I'm blending some of the herbal mixtures, if people are more run down and they need more adrenal support or immune support, then you can make the tonic suit their body type. If they need
Right.
more focus in the kidney, for instance, and bladder, and maybe more female hormone support, even, you can add those herbs into the same tonic combination. So it's
Right.
more focused in that area. Same with homeopathy. Those are lovely for putting together different focuses, so more lymphatic for the skin, and maybe they need more liver work.
Mm-hmm.
That can be in both the herbal or the homeopathic, but it isn't always about the liver. It's more about the gut and what we've been putting in here that we
Right.
need to focus on, and then extracting the debris out of the cells and tissues in our body so that they aren't accumulating. Like, give some space in the bucket, so when you do enjoy a party or a patio engagement, you've got space in there to allow for some of the pleasures, and
Yeah.
that you don't tip it over and then get your symptoms of asthma or acne or whatever it is, migraines. You've got space to play, and that's why you detox or help eliminate things more on bulk at a couple times a year at least, to just bring that level down. If you're not focused on treating something specifically, which means you're doing a cleanse until the symptom or whatever the problem's gone away. It's not
Right.
just a 2 week cleanse or a 3 day
Sure.
cleanse. That's much longer. That's then no longer a cleanse or a detox. It's called treatment.
Yeah. And so would it be kind of like I just lost my train of thought. There was something you said kind of triggered a point about cleansing from our last session when we talked about it. There was this tipping point, or not tipping point, but a load, when we talked about a certain load of stuff, when all of a sudden we get sick or what have you. So this would help reduce, doing a cleanse reduces that load. So allergenic, let's say from allergies, it's not going to
Hmm.
hit you as strong,
Hmm.
versus if you didn't, it would maybe hit you stronger than normal. So that's something to take into consideration, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you are an allergy person, we needed to start cleansing you about a month ago so that you could get your load down enough so that you're not so reactive to one more stressor on your body. And this year, this is why I'm saying, with people's moods and temperament right now, it doing too harsh of a cleanse may not be a good idea if you're feeling a
Mm,
little fragile or irritable. Um, you want to do something a little less intense,
yeah.
and maybe something a little more supportive. So that brings me to another detox. Is maybe the detox is more about filling in the blanks on deficiencies because we've used them all up, being worried, concerned, getting back into this new level of living and socializing. It means that we need to be kind to ourselves, kind to our bodies.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes
S-
sense. That makes
So
sense.
that's kind of where I think um, the fallout of looking at spring cleaning needs to be considered. So, yeah, go for the off the shelf thing, try it, see how you feel on it. If you really get sick, well, maybe that's an indication there's more to look at.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm happy to help you with that. And women will often ask me if a spring cleanse will help them with a hormone problem. And the quick answer is yes. Um, the question is what is the hormone imbalance that you're experiencing? So let's
Right.
look at that first. Same with guys, if they're feeling a little under the weather and just not having enough oomph. Like, you don't always go running off for an injection of testosterone. What you want to do is look at, well, what are the other complicating factors that are going on here? Is my gut healthy?
Yeah.
Very simple. Is Am I feeling like I'm getting enough sleep, rest? What am I worried about? All those things have a trickle down effect to our hormones and stamina.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah, if we're not feeling frisky, there's probably other reasons for it, not just hormones.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in spring, everybody likes to think they're feeling a little more frisky again because it's
Yeah.
a change of season.
Yeah, exactly. Get outside, do some stuff, feel like you got some energy. You're out in the sun for sure. Anything else you want to mention before we wrap up? This has been fantastic. I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, pretty straightforward time of year to be looking at doing something that suits your personality. Like I've listed a number of different things that you can do. You don't always have to do a herbal or homeopathic detox. It can be just getting back on your vitamin and supplement program. Taking a look at if you're on medications, are any of these things going to coincide or have a problem with your medications? Um, Always ask your doctor or ask your naturopathic doctor. Um,
Hint, hint, hint.
what else can I say? Yeah, I think everybody should look forward to having a wonderful spring and summer season. Be safe with their physical bodies now that they're out there using them more, and
Yeah.
just have fun.
Yeah, no, totally agree. This has been fantastic, Linda. Thank you so much. And so for everyone, there's some really good content here. Now it's a matter of putting it into action and taking accountability for yourself and taking some of these points, these wonderful points, and applying them into your life. So thank you, Linda, again. As always, appreciate all the sharing of your knowledge, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Thanks, Gary.
All right. Bye for now, everyone. Take care.